India lost to Australia in the World Cup, marking their second defeat in the tournament. This despite amassing a 300-plus total batting first, daunting for any opposition in this format. Australia's Alyssa Healy played a captain's knock to shut India out. The bigger question, though, stems from what seems to be a bit of a pattern when it comes to this cricketing rivalry. What happens to India when in front of an Australian outfit? Is there a mental barrier that is superseding skills and the contest of bat versus ball? The scoreline will tell you that it was a close contest, and yes, for most part of it, it certainly was. India did well batting first, and that target would put any cricket side under immense pressure straight away. And Australia, after a point, did feel the heat when India managed to put the brakes later on. The captain, needless to say, stood tall. And it somehow feels like Alyssa Healy has seamlessly taken that baton forward from a tenacious Meg Lanning as captain and leader in the batting lineup. But there's more. Everyone in there stands up to be a leader. Everyone shares the burden of responsibility when it comes to the big games, a World Cup game. Take the captain Healy, for instance. In the last 11 innings, this is including her match against India recently, these were her scores: 34, 39, 70, 29, 15, 27, 9, 30, 19 and 20. Just the one half century, and that came against England, and she comes and whacks 142 in her 11th innings, and that happens to be against India. That's just undoubtedly the best example of what this means to her. What a World Cup game and one against India will make her do. How hard she will push her limits. The bottom line with India, managed to score 300 plus, that is incredible, but still couldn't hold on. The numbers coming up is, of course, the top 6 highest successful run chases in ODI cricket, and 5 of those have been made against India. It tells you one story very clearly. While India can rake up the runs, they've got the batters, they're not being able to defend those runs. But more than that, it seems to be the mental barrier. We've seen the men's team face exactly that. In the 2023 ODI final, a team that was flawless up until that point faltered in front of a dogged fighting Aussie side. That's what this women's team represents too, a psyche that is cemented from birth of tenacity and an attitude that just never gives up. We've seen that so many times, whether it was an injured Glenn Maxwell playing out of his skins to get Australia through against Afghanistan in the World Cup, Shane Watson bleeding and standing his ground with the bat in an IPL game, or Alyssa Perry coming back out even after retiring hurt and putting up a gritty display to keep India at bay. India lacks that proper extra bowler for sure. That's on paper, and the numbers say so. And they might just be forced to rectify that despite Harmanpreet Kaur laying the onus on the batters here. But there are some things that you just can't point out or pen down when it comes to matchups, like India versus Australia. It goes beyond things like stature and skill set. It points to that fortitude, that mental battle, and how far you are willing to take your mind to fight what could be impending defeat. And that's what India needs to muster as they look to go deep in this tournament, the World Cup.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion kakaljo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali.
Japanese,
$4 trilhão.
Portuguese,
Por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.